The book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 1, Daniel 10 and 1, Daniel, the 10th chapter, and the first verse, Daniel's vision by the Tigris River. During the third year that Cyrus was the king of Persia, these things were shown to Daniel. Daniel's other name is Belteshazzar. They are true, but very hard to understand. Daniel understood them because they were explained to him in a vision. At that time, I, Daniel, was very sad for 3 weeks. During those 3 weeks, I didn't eat fancy food. I didn't eat any meat or drink any wine. I didn't put any oil on my head. I didn't do any of those things for 3 weeks. On the 24th day of the first month of the year, I was standing beside the great Tigris River. While I was standing there, I looked up and I saw a man standing in front of me. He was wearing linen clothes. He wore a belt made of pure gold around his waist. His body was like a smooth, shiny stone. His face was bright like lightning. His eyes were like flames of fire. His arms and feet were shiny like polished brass. His voice was loud like a crowd of people. I, Daniel, was the only one who saw the vision. The men with me didn't see the vision, but they were still afraid. They were so afraid they ran away and hid, so I was left alone. I was watching this vision and it made me afraid. I lost my strength. My face turned white like a dead person's face and I was helpless. And I heard the man in the vision talking. As I listened to his voice, I fell into a deep sleep with my face on the ground. Daniel, you keep falling asleep. Then a hand touched me. When that happened, I got on my hands and knees. I was so afraid I was shaking. The man in the vision said to me, Daniel, God loves you very much. Think very carefully about the words I will speak to you. Stand up. I've been sent to you. And we said this. I stood up. I was still shaking because I was afraid. Then the man in the vision started talking again. He said, Daniel, do not be afraid. From the very first day you decided to get wisdom and to be humble in front of God, he's been listening to your prayers. I came to you because you have been praying. But the prince of Persia has been fighting against me for 21 days. Then Michael, one of the most important princes, came to help me because I was stuck there with the king of Persia. Now I've come to you, Daniel, to explain to you what will happen to your people in the future. The vision is about a time in the future. While the man was talking to me, I bowed low with my face toward the ground. I could not speak. Then the one who looked like a man touched my lips. I opened my mouth and I started to speak. I said to the one standing in front of me, sir, I'm upset and afraid because of what I saw in the vision. I feel helpless. Sir, I'm Daniel, your servant. How can I talk with you? My strength is gone. It's hard for me to breathe. The one who looked like a man touched me again. When he touched me, I felt better. Then he said, Daniel, don't be afraid. God loves you very much. Peace be with you. Be strong now. Be strong. When he spoke to me, I became stronger. Then I said, sir, you've given me strength. Now you can speak. So then he said, Daniel, do you know why I've come to you? Soon I must go back to fight against the prince of Persia. When I go, the prince of Greece will come. But Daniel, before I go, I must first tell you what is written in the book of truth. No one stands with me against those evil angels except Michael, the prince over your people. Daniel 11. During the first year that Darius the Mede was king, I stood up to support Michael in his fight against the prince of Persia. Now then, Daniel, I tell you the truth. 3 more kings will rule in Persia. Then the 4th king will come who will be much richer than all the other kings before him. He'll use his riches to get power and turn everyone against the kingdom of Greece. Then a very strong and powerful king will come who will rule with much power. He'll do anything he wants just as he comes to power. His kingdom will be broken up and scattered in all directions. It will not be divided among his descendants, and it will not be ruled in the same way because that kingdom will be pulled up and given to other people. The southern king will become strong. Then one of his commanders will defeat him. The commander will begin to rule, and he'll be very powerful. Then after a few years, the southern king and that commander will make an agreement. The daughter of the southern king will marry the northern king. She will do this to bring peace, but she and the southern king will not be strong enough. People will turn against her and against the one who brought her to that country, and they will turn against her child and against the one who helped her. But someone from her family will come to take the southern king's place. He will attack. Are you all confused yet? The southern king, the northern king. He will attack the armies of the northern king. He will go into the king's strong fort. He will fight and win. He will take their gods and their metal idols and their expensive things made from silver and gold. He'll take those things away to Egypt, and he will not bother the northern king for a few years. The northern king will attack the southern kingdom, but he will lose, and he will go back to his own country. The northern king's son will prepare for war. They will get a large army together. It will move through the land very quickly like a powerful flood. That army will fight all the way to the strong fort of the southern king. Then the southern king will become very angry and march out to fight against the northern king. The northern king will have a large army and he will lose the war. The northern army will be defeated and those soldiers will be carried away. The southern king will be very proud, and he will kill thousands of soldiers from the northern army, but we will not continue to be successful. The northern king will get another army that will be larger than the first one. After several years, he will attack. His army will be ready for war. It will be very large and will have many weapons. In those times, many people will be against the southern king. Some of your own people who love to fight will rebel against the southern king. They will not win, but they will make the vision come true. Then the northern king will come. He'll build ramps and walls and will capture a strong city. The southern army will not have power to fight back. Even the best soldiers of the southern army will not be strong enough to stop the northern army. The northern king will do whatever he wants. No one will be able to stop him. He'll gain power and control in the beautiful land, and he'll have power to destroy it. The northern king will decide to use all his power to fight against the southern king, and he'll make an agreement with the southern king. The king of the north will let one of his daughters marry the southern king so that he can defeat the southern king. But those plans will not succeed. His plans will not help him. Then the northern king will turn his attention to the countries along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. He'll defeat many of those cities, but then a commander will put an end to the pride and rebellion of that northern king. The commander will make the northern king ashamed. After that happens, the northern king will go back to the strong forts of his own country, but he'll be weak and will fall. He will be finished. After the northern king, there will be a new ruler who sends out tax collectors so that he can live like a king. But after a few years, he'll be destroyed, although he will not die in battle. That ruler will be followed by a very cruel and hated man who will not have the honor of being from a king's family. He'll become a ruler by being tricky. He will attack the kingdom when the people feel safe. He'll defeat large and powerful armies. He'll even defeat the leader with the agreement. Many nations will make agreements with that cruel and hated ruler, but he will lie and trick them. He will gain much power, but only a few people will support him. When the richest countries feel safe and that cruel and hated ruler will attack them, he will attack at just the right time and will be successful, where his ancestors were not successful. He will take things from the countries he defeated and he'll give them to his followers. He will plan to defeat and destroy strong cities. He'll be successful, but only for a short time. That very cruel and hated ruler will have a very large army. He'll use that army to show his strength and courage and attack the southern king. The southern king will get a very large and powerful army to go to war. But the people who are against him will make secret plans, and the southern king will be defeated. People who were supposed to be good friends of the southern king will try to destroy him. His army will be defeated. Many of his soldiers will be killed in battle. Those two kings will want to make trouble. They will sit around the table planning their lives, but it will not do either of them good because God has set a time for their end to come. The northern king will go back to his own country with much wealth, and he will decide to do bad things against the holy agreement. He'll do the things he planned, and then he'll go back to his own country. At the right time, the northern king will attack the southern king again. But this time, he will not be successful as he was before. Ships from Cyprus will come and fight against the northern king. He'll see those ships coming and be afraid, then he'll turn back and take out his anger on the holy agreement. He will turn back and help those who stop following the holy agreement. The northern king will send his army to do terrible things to the temple in Jerusalem. They'll stop people from offering the daily sacrifice, and they will do something really terrible. They will set up that terrible thing that causes destruction. The northern king will use lies and smooth talking to trick those who quit following the holy agreement, so they'll sin even worse. But those who know God and obey him will be strong. They will fight back. Those wise teachers will help other people understand what is happening, but even then they will have to suffer persecution. Some of them will be killed with the sword. Some of them will be burned or taken prisoner. Some of them will have their homes and things taken away. When those wise people are punished, they will receive some help. But many people who join them will be hypocrites. Some of the wise people will stumble and make mistakes, but the persecution must come so that they can be made stronger and purer until the time of the end. Then at the right time, the end will come, the king who praises himself. The northern king will do whatever he wants. He will brag about himself. He'll praise himself and think that he is even better than a god. He'll say things that no one has ever heard. He will say those things against the God of gods. He'll be successful until all the evil things have happened. Then what God has planned to happen will happen. The northern king will not care about the gods his ancestors worship. He'll not care about the gods women worship. He'll not care about any god. Instead, he'll praise himself and make himself more important than any god. The northern king will not worship any god, but he'll worship power. Power and strength will be his god. His ancestors didn't love power as he does. He will honor the God of power with gold, silver, and expensive jewels and gifts. The northern king will attack the strong fortress with the help of his foreign god. He'll give much honor to the foreign rulers who join him. He'll put many people under their rule. He will make the rulers pay him for the land they rule over. At the time of the end, the southern king will fight a battle against the northern king. The northern king will fight him with chariots and soldiers and horses and large ships. The northern king will rush through the land like a flood. The northern king will attack the beautiful land. He'll defeat many countries. Learn how powerful he is. He'll get treasures of gold and silver and all the riches of Egypt. The Libyans and Ethiopians will obey him, but that northern king will hear news from the east and the north that will make him afraid and angry. He'll go to completely destroy many nations. He will set up his king's tents between the sea and the beautiful holy mountain. But finally, that bad king will die. There will be no one to help him when his end comes. Daniel chapter 12. Daniel, at that time, the great prince Michael will stand up. Michael is in charge of your people. There will be a time of much trouble, the worst time since the nations have been on earth. But Daniel, at that time, every one of your people whose name is found written in the book of life will be saved. There are many who are dead and buried. Some of them will wake up and live forever, but others will wake up to shame and disgrace forever. The wise people will shine as bright as the sky. Those who teach others to live right will shine like stars forever and ever. But you, Daniel, keep this message a secret. You must close the book and keep this secret until the time of the end. Many people will go here and there looking for true knowledge, and true knowledge will increase. Then I, Daniel, noticed two other men. One was standing on my side of the river. The other was standing on the other side. The man who was dressed in linen was standing over the water in the river. One of the two men said to him, "How long will it be before these amazing things come true?" The man dressed in linen standing over the water lifted his right and left hands toward heaven. And I heard him make a promise using the name of God who lives forever. He said, "It will be for 3.5 years. The power of the holy people will be broken. Then all these things will finally come true." I heard the answer, but I really didn't understand. So I asked, "Sir, what will happen after all this comes true?" He answered, "Go on about your life, Daniel. The message is hidden. It'll be secret until the time of the end. Many people will be made pure and they will make themselves clean. But evil people will continue to be evil, and those wicked people will not understand these things, but the wise people will understand them. The daily sacrifice will be stopped. There'll be 1,290 days from that time until the time that the terrible thing that destroys is set up. The one who waits for and comes to the end of the 1335 days will be very happy. As for you, Daniel, go and live your life until the end. You'll get your rest. At the end, you'll rise from death and receive your share of the promise." This is the word of the Lord. Put those words in the comment section. This is the word of the Lord. Follow, like, share, and subscribe, and encourage others to join in with us as we read through the Bible. Hit that arrow. As you hit that arrow button, it will share this recording with others so that they can read through the Bible with us.